Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to another recipe from the side of the fridge. So we've got this bundle of recipes live on the side of the fridge in our kitchen at home. And today we're going to do this recipe. It's for crab dip. And I don't know exactly where I got this recipe or who I asked for this recipe, but they've sent me, obviously, to a website, Savoir Faire. And I asked for this recipe because it wasn't that standard crab dip made with cream cheese, mayonnaise, and Old Bay. Absolutely nothing wrong with that crab dip. You put that in front of me with some tortilla chips, and I'm going to plow through it like there's no tomorrow. I love that stuff. But I liked this one because it uses slightly different flavors. So we put salsa in. And so we put salsa in, and I need about a quarter cup of salsa. And I'm trying to get the thick part and leave most of the liquid behind. So I'm using a fork here. And so if you know anything about this channel, if you've visited here often, you'll know I don't really follow recipes all that well. And so I've got the original recipe printed out on this piece of paper, and then beside it there are pencil scratchings of how I've changed it over time because I like to have it a little bit differently. And originally it called for 4 packages of cream cheese, which is great for a party. It called for leeks, which I usually don't have on hand. And so I changed the leeks to green onions. I cut down on the cream cheese and all of the ingredients by about a quarter. And so I've got some mayonnaise here. I need about a quarter cup of mayonnaise. It's about that much. And it's in keeping with what I encourage you to do all the time on this channel, is take a recipe, know that you like it, and then sort of treat it as if it's your own and change the flavor and change the spicing a little bit. And so this one called for chili powder. I like chili powder, but I don't always have chili powder on hand. Sometimes I have our pre-made taco spice mix, which is what I've got here. I'm going to use that today. I'll put in chipotle chili powder because I like that smoky flavor. And I'll just use whatever I have in the cupboard is really what it comes down to. So I'm just going to mix this up, get this going. And I'm just using a fork, but you could use a hand blender for sure, just to get this to cream together really nicely. Okay, that's mixed together really nicely. So I'm going to add in some chopped green onions, because I have those on hand. I usually don't have leeks in the house. And a couple cans of crab meat. And I got to tell you, I don't go all out on the crab meat. I don't buy the most expensive cans. It's not lump crab meat. There are some lumps in here, but it is mostly finer ground crab meat. It's all about flavor, and that's the biggest thing to me, is the flavor. Having some of the chunks is great so that you can identify that it's crab meat. But if I'm faced with 2 cans of crab meat and one is 3 times the cost of the other one, I'm going to use the less expensive, more finely ground crab meat for sure. And the last thing in is some hot sauce. I have Frank's in the fridge today. If I had Tabasco, I'd use Tabasco. Use what you've got, use what you like. Use however much you think is going to make your dip the right amount of heat. Now, if you're making this for a family gathering, card night, game night, whatever, something like that, you can make this a couple days in advance, keep it in the fridge, and then just before you want to serve it to the guests, stick it in the oven and heat it up, which is what I'm going to do today. This is going to go in the fridge until later this evening when I put it in the oven. And it'll keep a couple days before you heat it. So I'm going to put this into an oven-proof bowl because we have to cook this at 350 degrees till it's bubbling up. Sometimes you'll see I scribbled on the piece of paper. Sometimes I'll throw some cheese on top if I'm feeling really wild. Other times I won't. Completely up to you what you want to do. So I'll cover this, stick it in the fridge, and then when I'm ready to serve it, I'll stick it in the oven. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Even cold, that's tasty. Okay.
Hey, Glenn. Hey,
Jules.
friends. Snack time.
Hot. Hot.
Okay, both
Hot.
dishes are hot. Do
Yep.
not touch them.
So this is
As he walks away.
crab dip from the side of the fridge.
Oh, that crab dip. Oh, and we're eating with chips because
Yep.
we often have it with bread.
With bread, yes. Haven't had it in a long time.
No,
But
No.
you know, oh,
it's a classic though.
Already
Look at
broke my
that.
chip.
You over dipped.
I was a little impatient. Could
Too
have been,
hot?
No, could have been in the oven a little bit longer. But the flavor's there. I like the salsa that's in it. I like the salsa flavor. I mean, you could really ramp that up with some chopped up jalapenos.
Notice how fast he was back in there.
Shrimp ring and that dip, and
Glenn's got a party.
yep, I don't need anything else. So this is really simple. Do you make a crab dip? What do you put in yours? Is it the Old Bay version? Do you have a completely different version of crab dip?
He's got to take a snack break.
Because
Just give him a second.
I want to know about your crab dip. I'm all over this. And if you're crazy, you could put in like those tiny little cocktail shrimps, lobster,
You make it how you want.
any fish that's in a can. You could put in this. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.